Making his 73rd professional appearance, weighing 12 stone, 8 pounds, from Manchester, DARYL Sharp! And his opponent this evening, the man facing him across the ring, with a professional record of 5 fights, 5 victories, 2 big wins by knockout, weighing 12 stone, 11 pounds, from Hammersmith, London, the Savage, ZAXO!
So Adam, Dan has got a great amount of support here today at York Hall, which is slowly starting to fill up. How do you think he's going to fare tonight?
Well, as we spoke about earlier, Marcus, DARYL Sharp is an incredibly durable opponent. He's had 70-odd fights. He's only ever been stopped the once, and that was by world title challenger Liam Williams some time back. But that was down at super welterweight.
So he's actually fighting up he's had to, give up a lot of weight here to fight Dana. You think he's going to be able to last the distance?
Well, I mean, as we said, he is durable. These guys, it's also about skill. They know how to survive. They know how to, even when they're hurt, cling on. A good journeyman road warrior will be able to do that. As you can see, there's not too much difference in the sort of size and shape.
No, ZAXO does look like quite a small light heavyweight. I mean, you do think he could probably cut some weight and maybe go down a division?
Possibly. I mean, he's quite stocky, isn't he? I mean, you never know. These guys often, when they get to sort of title fights, I mean, you think he's only 5-0, Dana, so, when he gets towards that 10-0 sort of record, he'll be looking at potentially dropping down, I think. But for the moment, on the day weigh-in, you don't worry too much about what you're weighing in at.
He's controlling the fight from the centre of the ring at the moment, though, which is probably what he will be intending to do. DARYL Sharp, he's very defensive, he's very good, but he doesn't get hit a lot, does he, DARYL Sharp? And he seems to be evading all these punches so far.
Yes, and also you'll notice that Sharp is, of course, southpaw, so he leads with the right hand, and he cleverly is stepping anti-clockwise, which takes him away from ZAXO's right hand, although not there when you stand in the set corner of the ring.
No, a great little right there from ZAXO. He does look like he has got it in the locker. It'll be interesting to see what he does with that arsenal in this fight.
Yes, he's got 2 stoppages. It all depends on how he puts the pressure on. I mean, DARYL Sharp is one of those guys where if you step off him, that's game over. He'll get away from you. He'll move away. He knows what to do.
Well, not necessarily game over, but you're not going to get the victory against him, really.
Yes.
DARYL Sharp doesn't necessarily finish many fighters, does he? Or even win many fights?
He has got a few wins on his record. I think he's got 5 wins, but he's never stopped anyone.
I suppose 5 wins for a roadman means he's dangerous. He's capable of taking out the odd opponent if they're a little bit complacent.
Oh, absolutely. And as you can see here, he's he's standing in the corners, but he's slipping, he's moving his head, he's changing his guard. He's just taking away angles from ZAXO, making him think about how to launch his attack. And as you see there, ZAXO's done very well, step to his right to create some room for that right hand on DARYL Sharp. But DARYL Sharp pivots him and gets out the way. But to be fair on ZAXO, he is avoiding all counter-attacks from DARYL Sharp at the moment. I don't think Sharp has even laid a glove on him as of yet. No, I think after that right hand earlier, he landed a backhand left just to sort of let ZAXO know that he's still in the fight.
I remember seeing Daryl Sharp a few years ago when he first started out. He was quite new to the game. The fact he's got 70 fights under his belt already means he's regular. And I don't mean visiting the toilet.
No, he absolutely is. He's only 27 years old as well. And these guys, the less wear and tear they take, it's in their interests not to take damage. The guys who are on the road, the opponents, believe it or not, people think that, these guys, they come here to get knocked out. No, they come here to put on a show. And
we had that conversation with someone last night, didn't we? And we put them right. And actually, a journeyman, their life is hard because they are constantly, literally on the road. That's why they get called roadmen, as it is.
Yeah, and I mean, you've got the sort of the top journeymen, road warriors, opponents, whatever you want to call them, blue corner fighters. They are entertainers as well. Look at Lewis Van Pucci.
Of course, yeah. Pucci is a very interesting fighter and does always bring something to the table in terms of entertainment. So the second round started quite passively from both fighters, to be fair, but I mean, ZAXO waking up a little bit now. Daryl Sharp he's just evading those punches and making sure he's not going to get hurt too much, as you say, avoiding damage.
Yeah, he's got a lovely little step, ZAXO. I do like that. The way he comes in and then pushes off to his right-hand side quite quickly. And he's got a nice snappy jab, considering he holds it quite low, as evidence there.
I mean, this is the thing. We do say, that a lot of these fighters, it's hard to knock out a journeyman. When they come to some of these title fights and they come up against someone who's looking to fight, then you do tend to see knockouts a little bit more often, don't you?
That's when you find out a lot about sort of a prospect, I think. Once they get to sort of southern area, English level, depending on, what weight they are and the paucity of talent or depth of talent. These guys, that once they start, as you say, once they come against someone who's there to win, you find out what they've got.
Of course. As you can hear, ZAXO's fans are very much filling up the arena, and I mean, Daryl Sharp, to be fair, it did sound like he did have someone here supporting him when he was announced. He's got his one supporter down there who's travelled from Manchester with him, from the sounds of things. He's representing the North all on his own at the moment.
Bit like you.
Bit like me, yeah. That was a great little combo from ZAXO there, almost catching Sharp off guard, but to be fair, he wasn't really rocked, was he, Sharp?
No, and then he took the centre of the ring. ZAXO drops his hands.
I can't imagine Daryl Sharp pouncing on any of those little moments of complacency. I mean, you can't really call them complacency either, because Daryl Sharp is in the corner with his guard up. Yeah, I mean, it's a second round, but you still feel like ZAXO's not quite worked him out yet. Even when, like he is at the moment, he's trapped in the corner. Sharp. Look, as I say, look at his movement there, Daryl Sharp. Very good, isn't it, for him? But this is the thing, he's had 70 fights. By now, you would think he's mastered his craft to suit his nature.
Oh, of course, and that's why he's getting work every week. Because look, Dana ZAXO. It's in his interests to fight someone like this. It's in his
rounds, isn't it?
Well, it's got to make him think. If he fights guys that he's toppling over every week, what's he learning? And then he gets to fight. He gets hand-fed guys that aren't as clever, as wily as Daryl Sharp. He comes up against, what is he, light heavyweight? He comes up against southern area level, like a Jake Ball, someone like that. They're gonna wipe the floor with him if he doesn't have those tools in his locker. He hasn't learnt those things.
Well, this is the problem when people take title fights too soon, isn't it? They get found out because they've had an inflated opinion of themselves when they've come up against these journeymen and maybe got a couple of knockouts. They do kind of have that inflated opinion of themselves, which can be costly.
There's a fighter that we both know very well, Hollywood Josh Jackpovey. He always used to say to me, I don't want knockouts, I want rounds. I want to be in there learning everything I can.
So going into round 3, do you think ZAXO might step it up a little bit here and try and put the pressure on Daryl Sharp?
I think he was towards the end of that round. Touching gloves is a bit of a roadman trick.
I was going to say, you don't see that when your Wilder Furies, or
no.
Speaking as a casual there, but
watch the away fighters tonight. The clever ones, the canny ones. They'll come out and they'll touch gloves first because it distracts the fighter. It buys them, even if it buys you 5 seconds. That's 5 seconds just and you're not even risking getting punched.
Well, in 4 rounds, that's 20 seconds of a fight, isn't it? So,
yeah, of course. So
good maths from me there.
Well done, Marcus. As you'll see, what ZAXO's doing is he's now stepping in close, tucking up, but swaying side to side. He's just waiting for Sharp to move the wrong way so he can whip. There we go. Look, he's looking for that opening
So yeah, it's almost walking him into the corner, isn't it? And just walking side to side and keeping him within his reach.
Yeah, absolutely. He's keeping him pinned and he's covering up. But anything back from Sharp there's no way he can legally hit ZAXO when he's in that position. He'd have to punch him on the back of the head.
Good body shot there from ZAXO.
Sharp just firing off a couple of lefts.
You do feel like Sharp doesn't quite have the power to hurt ZAXO, though, from the looks of things.
Yeah, I mean, look,
he has come up a few divisions, hasn't he? Really, so
yeah, he's naturally. I mean, I think naturally, these guys they get a call. Sometimes they get a call Wednesday, Thursday, saying, "Look, can you fight? Can you put on 15 pounds before Friday?" I mean, I know it's not supposed to happen, Marcus, but I'm afraid it does.
To be fair, it doesn't tend to happen with Goodwin. I know Daryl's been on the card here now for a while, so. Yeah, I mean, Daryl has had some time to prepare for this. But Daryl was also... no, he wasn't on the card last week. But... or maybe he was. I can't remember. But, yeah, Daryl does fight very often, doesn't he? He's a frequent fighter.
Yeah, and again, as you see, he's got good footwork. I mean, as you can see there. I like watching him box. I mean, he's a talented journeyman. He's a talented opponent.
No, I've always had a lot of time for him. As I say, I've been following his journey, excuse the pun, for a few years, obviously with me filming quite a lot of small hall boxing, and he does always come to fight, and that's all I personally want to see from a journeyman. I don't want to see them parking their bus and defending the entire time. And to be fair, this is a very tough battle for him here, because he is clearly up against someone who's a little bit heavier than him, and he's holding his own. I mean, he's obviously not winning the fight, but ZAXO is a good fighter.
I mean, if he wasn't an opponent, I'd be saying, see, again, that lovely little step to the right is very, very fast from ZAXO. I like that.
He's got good movement in his feet, hasn't he, ZAXO?
Yeah, and he's quick, and he switches the angles, which is great. Yeah, I mean, as I was saying, as you can see, he's backing into the corners. He's showing his defensive skills, but he needs to... a little nod from Sharp there. He did feel that little body shot. Yeah, he's now starting to see every time.
Happy with the end of that round, I think, Daryl. I think he's happy to get back into the corner.
Every time ZAXO lands cleanly on him, you'll see 2 or 3 punches back from Sharp, as if to say, I'm still here, mate.
So going into the final round here now, ZAXO he's on his feet. He's not even sat down in the corner. Maybe trying to show Daryl Sharp that he's still full of beans. He's now actually talking to the crowd, trying to get the crowd going as well.
Fair play. He's got a few fans here. They're making plenty of noise to our left, right.
They certainly are.
He's got the 2 stoppages, ZAXO, but they were early. They were his first 2 fights. One of them was Justin Johnson, who has got all the will in the world, but I'm afraid is not a durable guy and is not a natural light heavyweight.
No, but you can only put away what is in front of you. That is
absolutely, and it was his debut. It was his debut. You never want... unless they're some sort of Olympic champion or national, multi-time ABA winner, you're not going to put them in with a real test. It's about shaking the nerves in the debut, and so to get a stoppage, that's an achievement.
And this is what we were saying earlier about the dangers of going into a title fight too soon. You're going to get found out when actually you might be better than you're showing on that night, because you've not got those rounds, and you've got a great right hook there.
Yeah, if you watch the way he's putting the left hand out just there, ZAXO, it's almost using
it up.
Yeah, it's a rangefinder. He's just working out the distance he got. Oh, left, right.
Daryl's starting to feel these now a couple. You do think if this was maybe 6 rounds that actually Sharp maybe starting to struggle. I mean, as I say, he's a bit of a step up for him, this.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what Daryl Sharp fought at last week or anything like that, but, again, we're talking about Daryl Sharp as if he was a prospect. If he was a prospect, you could be saying to him, throw more, lose a bit of weight. But he's not. He's in there to teach Dana ZAXO, and Dana ZAXO is learning a lot about himself tonight.
And I mean, it's a comfortable win for ZAXO, this really, isn't it? I mean, even if Sharp managed to somehow knock him down now, you still think Dana would take the victory here.
Yeah, I don't think we're likely to see that. Yeah, I mean, I'd be very surprised if this wasn't a shutout points win. I don't think you can make a case for Sharp having even drawn around, really.
No, it's been quite a comprehensive victory, and tidy as well. I mean, ZAXO is probably going to come away with a pretty clean looking face at the end of this.
Yeah, posing for photos with his fans who've turned up, no doubt, in and around the bar. He'll look fairly pretty. Might not look like he's had a fight.
Daryl Sharp shaking his head there as if to say, you didn't catch me that time, buddy. But to be fair, you know, I think he's getting to the point now, Daryl, where I think he just wants the end of the fight, doesn't he?
Yeah, I mean, these guys, you know, they get dinged about. They're used to it. We'll see. I mean, you know, that you don't get to speak to them. Sometimes if you're in the changing rooms, you know, interview again, he's lining that. You're not really supposed to do that.
No, I mean, it's kind of an illegal. I think the refs might be about to have a word with him about that. I mean,
it's just breaking them up. But
he's not been doing it with too straight arm though. That's the thing, isn't it? I mean, you got to be careful with that straight arm, eyeing that up.
Yeah, and they've banned the sort of wavering cobra jab that Huey Fury used a few fights ago to good effect, sort of just distracting the eye, because it's a similar sort of thing. But yeah, a bit like what ZAXO's doing there, just putting the left in the eye line of Sharp so that he's got no sight, no vision. Take away his vision, you can land where you want.
Last few seconds of the round now, not too long to go. There we go, that is it. I think, as we said earlier, quite a comprehensive victory from Daryl ZAXO, probably 40-36. What's your final say on that one?
Yeah, I enjoyed that. I enjoyed watching ZAXO. I think I'd be interested to see him fight one of the tall, lengthy light heavyweights that we've got around this sort of area. Or even someone like Andre Sterling, who's similarly compact, about as wide as he is deep, but he's just been taken into the Ultimate Boxer. Golden Contract even. Andre Sterling, that's a massive shot for him. But yeah, no, Daryl ZAXO's, you know, he's taken another step towards Southern Area level.
Yeah, and he does look about that level, really, doesn't he? You would say that he would compete at that level. Let's see what the announcer gives the scores as. As expected, the scores 40-36 in favour of Daryl ZAXO.